Welcome back to the channel. In the scheme of things, this is an early one because I have to pick Christine up from work in almost 4 hours, and if I did this when I got back, I'm making dinner. I know, it's a shock. And by the time I would be down here talking to you guys, it would probably be almost bedtime. So, just gonna come and knock one out of the park. So, welcome to BandEBrew Reviews. This is your host, Eric. Last one was on the backup channel over at Captaindick Nozzle, and me and Matt reviewed tiramisu from Southern Tier, 10%. That was pretty tasty. Today we're going to look at Mama's Little Yellow Pilsner from Oscar Blues. I would have just probably a review on this channel. My whole, hey, they deleted my channel and all 2,500 videos or whatever the heck it is are all gone and there's no proof. Shazam! 3 years later. This one weighs in at 4.7%. So this is also a good one. So there's going to be no shots. I mean, there will be, but you guys will be... This will be already uploaded by then. Okay. So I've had some enlightening conversations with a good old friend of mine, local. Smells like beer. Looks like beer. Cheers, so we don't make Mr. Holster or the Crazy Scotsman mad. Yeah. Kind of tastes like beer. My buddy Alan, he was a driver for me when I managed the Domino's Pizza here in Duluth. And when I was offered what I thought was going to be a promotion to go to the Twin Cities, which was a joke. Best store I ever ran was the small store up on Oxford. It was like family. It was like this group, except for we actually got together every single night. I almost never had any problems. Just a fantastic crew. Well, my buddy Alan, I started by moving him from being a driver to an MIT, a manager in training, and then he was the assistant manager of the store. And when I left, I was asked by my supervisor what I thought about Alan getting the store, and I said there's a reason that Alan is the assistant manager. So, but since then, he was like one of those kids that, you know, Dad was aggressive, and I got to get out on my own kind of a thing. His dad owned a business. Just, I think it'd take me about 35 minutes maybe to get there. It's a place called Oak Lake Campground, and also now Oak Lake Campground and RV sales. And as Alan's dad started to age, he asked Alan to come back and help him with the business, and then eventually completely took it over. So now he's the owner of Oak Lake Campground and Oak Lake RV sales, and we started talking politics, and he's like, you know, me and you have always kind of meshed, and nothing has changed. He goes, but I can't, and I go, need to say no more. I said, I have my own stuff for 454, and I'd rather not. I don't post anything political on there. I mean, take what's the douchebag's name? Used to stand in line to watch one of his movies. Oh yeah, that De Niro guy. After he started flapping his mouth, I don't care what people said. I have not watched a Robert De Niro movie since he went full on Trump derangement syndrome. But when it comes to business, You got to keep that stuff all separate because, the case in point with him, 50% of everybody that was financially keeping him in money, now evidently he's having a problem because nobody even wants to hire him to do movies. Well, Mr. De Niro, you brought that upon yourself. It's one thing to have a political opinion. It's another thing to threaten the stuff. Either way, long story short, Alan is obviously has a thriving business. And you kind of would say, I guess things would change when you're pumping shit out of somebody's sewage container tank in their RV. But this is a guy who built a absolutely incredible house on Oak Lake. And either way, we were talking, and one of his recommendations was getting a table at the home show that we have at our deck, DECC, Duluth Entertainment and Convention Center. And Al's like, I'm not sure what it costs these days, but the last time that he had a table there, it was $800. I know, seems like a lot of money, especially when I don't have $800. I mean, my business account, which pays for my web hosting and my software and business insurance and fuel and gas and all that, I'm now under that. So if I don't giddy up and start putting some money in there, I'm going to be really hurting, let alone $800. But if you think about it, I believe if I can afford to pull that off, that would be smart money, because you're talking about, I think it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the foot traffic is incredible. And I really wouldn't have to it wouldn't be like a painstaking thing for me to even get set up. I mean, I'm not going to bring down sanding equipment. Who cares? I just have to bring down some pictures. Maybe in advance, have some of my flooring projects have, some nice glossy pictures or something like that made. So, and his wife, who is also a good friend of mine, her family owned Riverside Flooring. The first flooring company I ever worked for was owned by Alan and Julie Anderson. And Al, I guess, started talking to Alan started talking to Al and saying, Eric actually has got his own flooring company. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, I need to get in touch with him. Evidently, he wants to give me some stuff. So now I'm curious. Sandpaper or anything like that would be fantastic. So, I don't know. We'll wait and see. You'll find out. Today, beautiful day. I was outside shoveling, dressed like this. I also got a big-ass package in, and I'm going to read a few comments and just get straight to that, because it says, keep cool, I'm from Wisconsin. Refrigerate when possible. Showed up early this morning, and I just left it out on the front porch because it's the same temperature. Actually, right now it's high 30s. Okay, so updating, you came to a complete stop. Right now it's 32. And if there is any wind, it feels like 27. So I realize that you people from Florida and California and Texas probably wouldn't be able to relate, but to be able to be outside shoveling in a t-shirt is pretty sweet. So first in was actually Mike saying cheers. And of course that was on the Tiramisu Imperial Stout from Southern Tier. Sub-comment, Bad says, cheers, G. And then he says to Bad, cheers, Bad. Then Bad says, you opened the 454 Lurie Center for Wayward Women yet? So he says, He has the white van and the free candy signs, but the street corners are empty in this cold weather. Or if they're... What? Hey, I lied, Mike. You were not first. It came to a hard stop, and then I guess sitting here, Okay, so 2 weeks ago, Cobra said there's no way I've missed the club. So first was Smile Money. I stand corrected. I am sorry, Smile. Smile Money was first. Bad says, 1 again, you're on a roll. And he says, 3 in a row. And Cobra says, 3? Brad says, I want to serve tiramisu to Violet. I bet you do. I bet you do. Smile Money. 5 minutes of flatulous talk. Only 5 minutes more than I need to hear. Bad says, quit talking about it and fart already. Rich says, cheers all. Cheers, Rich. Bad says, cheers, Rich. Salty. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel naked. Bad says, everybody get naked. Cobra says, cold shower time. Miss 27 says, naked world. Okay, I'm going to read. See, there's 2 from Smile Money. I'm going to read this one and then open that box. Matt, you have not had a state income tax increase every year in Minnesota. Now, they did increase fuel tax, cigarette tax, marijuana tax, so I agree, it impacts you much more than most. I heard they're considering a barbecue tax, so you're screwed. Okay, I could reach for one of these knives, but my knife of choice in my jammies today is the Leatherman Signal that I got from Sharkey with this beautiful, dirty, Lord knows what that is. But let's see, it still shaves. And this is addressed to alcoholic. Oh, looks like, in case one of my walls is, wow, you're from Holland? It's insulation, packing peanuts. In case you're wondering, these are the degradable ones. Okay, so it feels heavy, yet biodegradable. Is there enough of them that I need to worry? See, sometimes I take these and I put them in a container and then melt them down. Oh my. Wow, this looks like a care package of unbelievable proportions. You know, if this is who I think it is, you should have brought the package yourself so that we could enjoy it together. The Limburger has not been lasting too long. The only, well, not the only thing, but I had the Matt's I had Matt's venison stew for lunch yesterday, and then I had almost nothing for dinner because I'm trying to, you know, Amish country. Well, first of all, if you've already seen me open and consume large quantities of this. So far, of everything that I've had, this is my favorite, which works out because I can go down the Super One and normally get this. They're actually starting to recognize me as the Limburger guy, and it is nice and cold, so leaving it out here for a couple seconds. And Amish country stuff. I've never even heard of this one. Now, this is going to go back to what my sister was missing, because the stuff that my grandfather used to purchase was spreadable. I don't want to say I was trying to predict what was in the box, but I had run over to the grocery store after I saw the box on the porch, and so I picked up another supply of chicken and the biscuit crackers, which, may I tell you, was better in Matt's venison stew than a normal cracker. I don't always bust a cracker in my stew, but when I do, I like it to be chicken and the biscuit. I do not apologize right up front that this has turned into the eating channel for the day. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's about the consistency, I would say, of butter. Now, first of all, grandfather never had chicken in the biscuit, so this is adding a distinct flavor that a regular cracker I mean, does the palate remember? I would have been staying over. I mean, you got to figure, you people that have kids, at what age would your kids no longer would have wanted to, say, stay over with grandma and grandpa? So, I want to say, the last time that I had spreadable Limburger cheese out of those little glass jars, I would have been somewhere between, say, maybe 6 to 10 years old. I think this is something that my sister's gonna go, that's what I remember. That's what I remember from our past. So if you're a Limburger fan and you've ever had spreadable, you may try to find this. The real stinky stuff. Now, best if used by August 11th. More than enough time. I'm not even sure. So, this one, which is the last one that I have down here, says Best by the 3rd. So we're already past that date. That is a good thing when it comes to Limburger, at least for me. I am going to throw that in there. Throw that in there. I didn't start this, okay? But since somebody did, this one has passed its board on. Well, that was the other thing. We did have an experiment running, didn't we? 123 of 26. So I am going to wait on that. I want that to run. I want that to run past its actual. I'd sure like to know how the wrapper really works on this cheese, because I want to say whoever created the wrap on Country Castle Limburger cheese used to love the Rubik's Cube, because no matter where you open it, something different is going on. I don't even know why I try, because it all ends up just like what just happened. It just ends up ripping. But again, kind of get a visual of what's going on in this particular cheese. I mean, I never understood the whole thing. Like, for instance, blue cheese. What do you think that the blue is in blue cheese? It is mold. I mean, why? I don't know, you guys. I don't know why you deny yourself the ultimate pleasures in life. A cold beer, good friends, and some nice rank Limburger cheese. Maybe you could take the spreadable stuff and spread it onto. Maybe you could be someone like, say, Rich. You know, breaking into those engineering mentality, and you could build a little wall out of the castle cheese, and then you could come along and you could spackle your wall. Let's see, we gotta layer down. You could spackle your wall with the spreadable cheese. So now you could, you know, this is like a fun little thing that you could do with your kids. You know, you go like this, and now you got the building blocks of a nice Limburger wall. Definitely a difference between the flavors. Mayhap. I don't know. I don't even know what's a fair wording for the difference, because the spreadable stuff has this like little kick like thing Hold on. 2 hours later. Okay. Spywani says, the point is people of Minnesota did not need the money that was allocated. That is the biggest crime, increasing the cost of all these programs without any proof of the funds that are needed to, or evaluation of effectiveness. Federal agencies are also guilty. They should have said, oh no, increases should be limited to the rate of inflation at a minimum. J-Dog is here at home. Okay. Okay. We have marijuana infused cheese curds. Never tried that before. Oh, it's jalapenos. My bad. From Vern's. And this one is Cajun cheese curds. Here's a funny thing. I was guessing that there was something that there was going to be some Limburger cheese in there that I have never had before, which it was. I could not have guessed that there'd be cheese curds, and I went to the grocery store to get some stuff for dinner tonight, and I had a thing of cheese curds in my hand, and I went, right now, financially, I don't need cheese curds. Of the two of these, I am going to try both of them, but I am going to try the jalapeno first. Whoopsie. That would make a good jalapeno melted cheese sandwich. So much. Spider-Man says Texas had a law making it illegal to own sawed-off shotguns, even if you had a federal tax stamp. Now, you can, as long as you meet federal requirements. So all those listening from Texas, drop that hacksaw. Never trust Matt. Bad says, unless he's barbecuing. Smart money. Eric will lie right to Matt's face about going to the range a lot. He quickly added he's just pissed because I didn't take him with. As a matter of fact, this last summer, I don't know if Matt went with all of us one time. So how the fuck would he know how many times I went? Then, also didn't mention it on the didn't mention it on the brew review. It was a secret training mission. Oh my, thanks Matt for adding some encouragement. Maybe twice a year is a lot for Eric in the millennium. Then he says, you did shoot the cowbell in Texas and shot his grenade launcher at the shack. We did a lot of shooting in Texas. We just didn't film any of it. Cajun. And you know why? Let me quote everybody. We're on vacation. I'm not here to make YouTube videos. End of story. These are good too. I've had Cajun cheese curds from Superior Meats. It's not theirs, but it's also not this product. The Cajun was too overwhelming, and I never even finished the bag. These are good. Wonder what would happen if you threw like a handful. Well, I know what would happen. They'd melt. But when I make scrambled eggs, I always use a little bit of milk and usually a bunch of cheese mixed in, and then well, that's too bad. The problem is usually when people rely on getting their information from the whole problem with our country, it just makes matters worse. But it's also not worth arguing with people because you're just never going to win. So I just won't discuss politics at all. It's kind of like the relationship I have with my mother. She honestly, continuously tells everybody that will listen to her that Trump is actually the devil. Okay. Don't wreck my appetite. Spare money. Eric, that YouTuber went into the reported no-go zone with an old guy and didn't even have a minigun. I have no idea what I said. Spare money says Matt, Pfizer has had other drugs. Pfizer offers many beneficial drugs, notable blockbuster medication, Eliquis, blood thinner, Prevenol, pneumonia vaccine, Liberance, breast cancer, alongside older successful like Zoloft, depression, and Narvasec, hypertension / vagina. Says no. Okay, it doesn't say vagina. Angina. That have significantly impacted public health. Then he says, Matt, how many people have money invested in their IRAs that would be devastated? Then he says, I saw Locked and Loaded, but was busy watching the brew review. Just you and Johnny. Culver says, when did this happen? Saturday. Me, Johnny, and Christine did a show, but when the screen gets split, the focus point gets automatically changed to like this. So the only way you would have been able to see me and Christine at the same time is if she was sitting in my lap. Which is why Johnny told me to try OBS Studio. And evidently I was able to tie it to my YouTube channel because I found the following morning that my 10 or 15 seconds that I sat looking at the settings, I was actually live on YouTube. Bad says, greetings, Captain. Greetings, Bad. Oh, just look at that head. Okay, how am I going to do this so that they... Okay. That one's wedged in there good. Okay. And of course, we cannot put this away without scoring at least one more drop into the depths of stanky. Bad says, greetings, Captain. I already read that one. Greetings, Bad. Then, all of that. That was as far as I could scan down. Now we're back to Mike that I thought was number one. Jolson says, India, 4. I-4 is a miss. I am going to have to bring down a Ziploc bag, but right now I'll wedge this against the rolling rock. And I'm going to bring that upstairs to see if my sister likes it. If it brings back any memories. Personally, I'd get so excited. I mean, I am, actually. Smile Money. Enjoyed the review. Matt was not drunk, and he had some good moments. Bad says, not drunk or stoned. This is a rare appearance by the Matster. Then he says, bring back drink, Matt. Then Smile Money says to Bad, he still provided excellent cannon fodder for my humor. The boy... What the hell's making that sound? The exhaust for the boiler. Excellent cannon fodder for my humor. The boy just can't help himself. Laugh out loud. And then he laughs. Bad laughs at Smile Money, or laughs with Smile Money because of Matt. Then he says Matt is a natural. Not a marketable natural, but a natural nonetheless. Holy shit. I don't know if I've ever seen the View More Responses tab. The story about Flooring Company and you being appointed to stand up to the man sounds like a story from one of those other careers. Am I misremembering? Yeah, because it was flooring. And there was no way that... Nobody wanted to, for free, drive wherever the job took us. Eric, say something. So Cobra says, shh, be very, very quiet. Balmy brain cells are sleeping. No. Cobra says, oh, I'm sure this current boss pays travel time. Yeah, fucking right he does. Then Smile Money says to Cobra, well, he doesn't get mileage because it's a company vehicle. Then he says, oh snap, was the van in the Flooring Company story also a company vehicle. Yeah, it belonged to Riverside Flooring, so I didn't care. Smile Money to Cobra, yes it was. Cobra to Smile Money, wild, bad, right, but his motorcycle is the company vehicle. Smile Money to bad, well, he purchased it prior to forming 454 Flooring, but he does live in Minnesota. The truck was also purchased before 454, but 454 owns it now because it's a plow vehicle. Bad to Smile Money. I'm sure he sold it to the company after forming his LLC. Cobra to bad, vehicle to use, or a perfect vehicle to use while traveling to give job estimates. Actually, Cobra, the only thing I need with me is my organizer. I use a laser tape measure, which is awesome. Sends all its information to my phone. Yeah, I don't need shit. And the last one, Smile Money to bad. I am not a tax expert, but I'm pretty sure you need a company revenue to actually benefit from write-off expenses. Well, maybe not in Minnesota. Well, no, Smile Money, because technically speaking, businesses usually write off almost everything when they first open. So, I know several people, not me, that own businesses that have almost never made a profit. And have never been audited, which, another thing I don't understand. EMT says, Danielle told you that she loved you because you were running around in her backyard naked while plowing snow? Maybe you heard her wrong. She was probably laughing at you because it was so cold. It's very cold. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, the belly button sticks out farther. Smile Money, Matt, you might not understand a lot. Matt, you might not understand a lot if you think Argentina is the same as Venezuela. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett stated that the U.S. government made money on the deal, in which stabilized Argentina's economy with a $20 billion loan. Cobra says G7. G7 is a hit. Joey, back again. Joey, I have had this one, and it was very dangerous to the point, and went back 3 times for it. Why? Because when you bought the 4-pack, you realized when you got home you only had one. So then Tom, I have a request. Can you do a review of Michelob Amber Bock beer with Matt? He pissed me off a couple of years ago when he slurred some bad remarks about Michelob. I don't want to have these feelings, so maybe if Matt had a fresh chance to try a good beer, he would come to his senses. I'm trying to grow as a person in 2026. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Smile Money, just send a case of it to Eric and it'll get on the review schedule. You know, there are standards. Very low standards, but standards. I cannot argue with the man. And what the fuck is going on? Wind scan up, and I was literally about to say, last comment from Hempseed Addict, Then she says, seems like complaining about an actions of others gets labeled some sort of list, despite whatever their ignorable transgressions. Have always thought President T could cure cancer and save all puppies, and still being handguarded by and still be harangued by the press, harangued, Ferengied. He's a Ferengi. Buzz seems to thrive on hyperbole. Hyperbole taken to the most extreme negative. Well, there was memes coming out before a single libtard had a meltdown over the watch. The Democrats will be coming out in support of a violent dictator. And an hour later, Bad says, Eric for Governor. Well, he couldn't pay me. Bad says, Eric's going to need a speed reading course to get through all of these comments on under an hour. 47 minutes. Bad says, if you don't get if you don't get speed reading, go watch some Cheech and Chong stand-up routines from the 70s. Yeah, I'm old. So are you. I like Cheech and Chong. It's been a while since I've seen anything from. But Mr. 27 says the 76th. Oh, there's good news. Then he says, Mission Impossible Brew Matt intro. Nice. Then he says, Hi, Brew Matt. Oh, is this it? Then he says, No, Multi 357 man. Then he says, Well, Mr. Brewbomi finally brought back the Brew Babes with big cans. How many times do I have to tell you? The Brew Babes, I've tried to come up with a schedule. I am missing some of the things that I wanted to do. Like Wednesdays is supposed to be about boats. Throwback Thursday, cars say older than the 60s. Turbo Tuesday, there's nothing in that folder. So actually, I could probably put all of this into that folder. It started off as the STI folder, but I think everything that you have seen in this rotation is turbocharged. And if it's not directly turbocharged, it's available to be turbocharged. That one probably was. So the only day that you are going to see the Brew Babes is at the backup channel, because I'm trying to avoid a conflict of my future here. And I know one of the things that they don't particularly like are naked women. You could probably put a guy with a schlong that looks like a foot long and then some, and that's probably fine, because it's gay woke tube, and everything that used to be right in their books is now wrong. So make sure you go through someone's arsenal and delete videos where there's nothing in it but a flashlight, and then make it so that it's inarguable. There's no one to appeal to, just tough shit. We deleted that. Do I really give a shit? I didn't really care when they started delivering or deleting older flashlight videos. That particular, well, the ones they've deleted are actually still available. But when they start deleting my Battle Box videos, that pisses me off. Because it's sponsored. My ability to stay reviewing their products is so that their product is up. Now, maybe they don't give a shit that Mission 39 or whatever it was, almost 100 of them ago, got deleted. That's probably old news. But it still pisses me off because there was nothing in that video for a fucking fact, WokeTube, that broke community guidelines. Not a thing. I'm okay now. What do I think of Oscar Blues? Mama's Little Pills? It's a Pilsner. I mean, when you compare it in price with, say, you know, whatever your daily drinker is, like for me, like Rolling Rock, there's no way that I am going to be paying $10 for 6 of these when I can get 30 Rolling Rocks for $13. Which is what they were on sale for. Normally, I think it's $16 for 30 Rolling Rocks. So, there's your answer. Taste-wise, it tastes like a Pilsner. I mean, if it doesn't taste like a Pilsner, it's not a Pilsner, and there's not a lot of variables in Pilsners. But overall, it's clean, it's crisp, it tastes like a beer. And I'll give it a 7, because it is what it is. And now that we're an hour in, and I've weeded out everybody but the 4 people that are always here, and 3 of you just looked around to see who the other ones were. I am thinking about putting, because I've been so terrible. I mean, I realize that I don't need Christine to do a Patreon video. I know you guys like Christine, and when she does, she actually spends, you know, instead of just coming down after work where she feels all frazzled or whatever, she, you know, poofs, not I spoofed on her, poofs up and then comes down and joins me for the Patreon video. But I was thinking about maybe trying to put I'm sorry that it's been like 8-10 months since I've done a Patreon video, and put together a package of stuff, like maybe put, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, I mean, I'm not going to go buy anything new because I can't afford shit, but, you know, maybe put a red dot in there. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud, but one of the things I was thinking about is putting the original O station, and then maybe at least an 8-pack of batteries to get somebody started. This thing holds shit. I think this thing holds 34 batteries. You know, like this guy. Right now it's just busy talking about how both battery compartments are full. Well, how that works is it has 12 ready to go, and it has another 12 of each ready to go, ready charged, ready to be used. And then it would have 12 sitting on top, so every time you pull one out, it drops another 2 into the tester, then it goes to the charger, and then off to you. So, but living in the world thanks to Justin Fitch, if I can possibly put it down the road for someone to use and or enjoy. One of the things, and it's obviously it's not for everybody, because to this moment in time, everybody that I've asked, nobody has took me up on the offer. Over the years, I have quite a bit of I've given a lot of stuff away, so it's not like I have a room filled with it, but camping stuff, for instance, various things. I mean, might be a sleeping bag. I've decided to keep some of that stuff because maybe I don't go camping, but you just never know what might happen. Like maybe the power goes down and I cannot get my generator started, which my generator stopped starting for me in the middle of the summer. I can guarantee you right now that I would be my arm would be dead before I got that thing to start now. Granted, I know I have to give her a little squirt. But yeah, I just thought I'd maybe put together a better than normal package for the Patreon boys. I mean, Sharky, it doesn't make me necessarily feel any better when you keep pointing out that whenever I have this moment where I feel massively guilty, that you and a bunch of others just said, start a Patreon account, and the people that want to be able to help you will come and help you. Put a little money aside so that you can pick up some beers during the thin times, like for instance now, because I think yeah, I have 2 things left unreviewed. But I still, it was supposed to be like a perk of getting together and doing a special. The Patreon videos, we have a more candid discussion, maybe more insight into what's going on with Christine at work, Christine's books, maybe any BS or whatever. Usually, I mean, I'm usually pretty forthright. Whatever, I don't have much of an edit button on most things, but it's try to have. Long story short, it's been a long damn time for a Patreon anything, a video, and then usually whenever we did a video, we'd have some kind of do a little drawing amongst the Patreon people. And this time around, like I said, I guess it's always a question. I was just thinking about having this be one of the things that are in there, is the original O Station. As long as I have that one, I don't need 2 of them anymore. So, Cobra, hour ago, says, early club time. Bad says, day drinking, must be at work. And Cobra says, hard work or hardly working, depending on the ABV. Mr. 27 says, YouTube is telling me it's Brew Bomey club time, biatches. The big old cans of Brew Babes brew jugs. Not on this channel. Bad says, Bomey is in the house. And then Bad, Miss 27 says, drinky yes, my favorite part of the day. Washington, D.C. Oh, just missed it. It's probably Trump calling again to ask me what's the best thing to do. I usually don't blow them off, but that was weird. Evidently, I pushed it up so rapidly. Ooh, it's 3:33. Let's see. Bad says, "Howdy, clubbers. Welcome to the Leary Center of Wayward YouTubers." Then Bad says, "There once was an Eric so spry who loved cold beer stacked mountain high." Read more. "He wandered off track with a bad choice to back and woke up asking whose boots are these and why." Bad. "There once was a fellow named Eric who loved his women and beer empathetic. He'd chug down a brew with a lady or two, then stagger home feeling quite ecstatic." I'm not the only one day drinking, evidently. Bad says, "That's 2 limericks for the price of 1. That's got to be worth a shot of something. Oh, I'll get you when I get home." And Salty says, "Naked club time." Caught up there. Oops. Hang on. Check Rumble, of course, where there was 47 views. B&E on Rumble is actually starting to pull some average numbers again, or for the first time. First here again, says Smile Money. Then Wade says present and accounted for. And then Cheap Old Gun Guy says, "Be careful about reading health books. Some fine day you'll die of a misprint." Mega. Bunch your body. Bunch your body. Bunch your body. Okay. Tomorrow? Yeah, I don't know. I actually have a job for the next week or so, but obviously not gonna be. Man, if I can stretch it out to 6 months, I'm gonna. I'm just kidding. Cheers. And sorry, I put it all away. Thank you so much for the Limburger and the Limburger spread and the cheese curds. It's all really good. I can't wait to see what my sister thinks of the spreadable. So it sounded terrible. That rhymed, Bad.